or just traditional. Like
we've had people do where they start them on the smoker so they get the smoke, and then they kind of finish them in the oven.
Yep.
But this was a new twist, Ben.
Yeah, dude. So we've been talking to a lot of people. Like again, not just like one or two.
Right. It's like
five
a steady
plus,
stream of people that come up. And
5 to 10. That have talked to us about how they start their ribs in the oven.
Yeah.
And then they'll finish them on the grill.
Right.
And like I said, like one lady yesterday too, she like it sounded like she had maybe run them a little too long in the oven, and like
yeah.
Then she I was like, well, because again, I've never really heard of doing it this way, man. Like in all the years we've been out talking to people, like this is like the first time, and it's like
it's been
over and over and over. Yeah.
Welcome to Grilling to Get Away, the podcast for backyard grillers who want to escape the everyday and fire up the flavor. Whether you're a seasoned pitmaster or just learning your way around the grill, we're here to share tips, tricks, and recipes that will make your next BBQ unforgettable. We'll talk meats, marinades, and even some mouth-watering sides. Plus, we'll answer your grilling questions and dive into everything you need to turn your backyard into the ultimate grill zone. So grab your tongs, fire up that grill, and let's get started. This is Grilling to Get Away, your go-to podcast for all things barbecue. Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Greg, your co-host to the Grilling to Get Away podcast, and I'm here with my buddy.
What's happening, everyone? This is Ben.
Ben, man, yeah, we're hot and heavy in the state fair.
Sure are.
We're up early to get this podcast in for the week because we don't want to miss the week.
Absolutely, yeah. It'll be a quick one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quick one, but we have something we want to talk about, and we won't. I don't know if we're gonna dive too deep into it because we won't have much time. Because I need to do a little bit more research, man.
Yeah, I agree. We've had a lot of awesome conversations.
Yeah.
I've talked to quite a few people, man, about obviously different ways that they cook different foods and stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like the main source topic is like people ask about brisket. That's been pretty standard. I don't feel like I've heard really anything too different on that.
Dude, I've heard it like a bunch of people like this is like they're getting ready to do their first one.
First or second.
Man, it's been a long time since we talked to a lot of people that were like
like jumping in.
Yeah, jumping head first, man. Or they're like, I'm hesitant to do one, you know what I mean? So,
or they've done one and they're like not really sure.
It's been a couple years
one.
since they did it, and
I talked to a guy yesterday, and he was like, "Man, yeah, I've done one brisket." He's like, "But honestly, like, I just do chuck roast." He's like, "I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
it tastes good. It's cheaper. Like, it cooks great. Like,
dude,
I was like, oh man,
yeah, dude, that's funny because one guy asked me, he's like, what's your favorite cut to cook? And I'm like, man, I like a good chuck roast.
That's the same thing I tell people. Like, it's pretty versatile. You can't really screw it up too bad.
Yeah,
right? You can.
And if you do, man, it's like not as expensive as a brisket.
Oh, sure, and sauce it.
You can cook it like a brisket.
I feel like it accepts sauce pretty well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so
I do.
I do. So it's like, and it's one of like again, it's beef, right? So you can run with horseradish. You can run with like flipping mustard, man, mayonnaise, like whatever. Like it's literally just make a sandwich out of it.
Yeah.
Or just throw some barbecue sauce and make some poor man's burnt ends. Like, I can't tell you how many people talked about burnt ends with chuck roast and stuff. So
and that same guy asked me like what my favorite cut was. He was like, I'm getting ready to do my first brisket. I was like, hey man, well, if you want to test out the like technique, start with the chuck roast, man, because you can cook it almost exactly the same way, and you can get kind of your process down, and then you can go big, if you want to. But who am I to talk? I jumped right in with the brisket.
Absolutely,
right away.
Yeah. Live and learn, man.
Yeah,
learn from our mistakes. Right? That's the whole point.
Yeah, it wasn't great. You know what I mean? So, but the ones after that have been better.
Yeah. So, but that really hasn't been like, again, like we've had, I feel like it's been a lot like some brisket, but it's mainly been ribs. We've talked to a lot of people about
ribs, man.
And we've been hearing a lot. Like that's where I feel like it's kind of taking a turn for us. Like
this is a first for us during this fair, that we've had multiple people tell us that they cook ribs this way. So do you want to share?
Sure, yeah. So like man, dude, one lady stood out yesterday, but they talked to us about
let's set the stage here. So
cooking.
So we typically talk to people who do their ribs like one of a few ways. One is just they smoke them all the way through, like they don't wrap them, they don't do anything, they just let it ride and they get the temp. Great.
3-2-1 method.
Yeah,
We talked to a lot of people about
3-2-1 method.
Party ribs. Talked to people
Party
about
ribs. Where they cut them up individually and then they smoke them, and it's kind of a hot and fast, almost.
like similar wings, right?
Yeah. And then
or just traditional. Like
we've had people do where they start them on the smoker so they get the smoke, and then they kind of finish them in the oven.
Yep.
But this was a new twist, Ben.
Yeah, dude. So we've been talking to a lot of people, like again, not just like one or two.
Right. It's like a
5
steady
plus,
stream of people that come up.
5 to 10. That have talked to us about how they start their ribs in the oven.
Yeah.
And then they'll finish them on the grill.
Right.
And like I said, like one lady yesterday too, she like it sounded like she had maybe run them a little too long in the oven, and like
yeah.
Then she I was like, well, because again, I've never really heard of doing it this way, man. Like in all the years we've been out talking to people, like this is like the first time, and it's like
it's been
over and over and over, yeah. And like I asked, I was like, how long are you putting them out on the grill for? She's like, well, like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was surprising. Like, I was thinking, maybe you do it a few hours, right? I don't know, like, but she's basically
cooking the whole thing
in the oven and then just charring them up like hot and fast, like right over. And I understand the like because you caramelize it, whatever rub and sauce you're using. But it's because she wasn't the only one. We've had multiple people tell us that they start the ribs and they do them for like 4, all the way through 4 hours or something, and then they just finish them off, real quick on the grill. So yeah, that has kind of been a little surprise for us, and it's not it's not just kind of, I don't know what to say, like it seems like the women are getting after it, man.
They sure are.
Grilling and barbecuing.
It's awesome.
So I don't know if there was someone that did like a recipe out there and did them that way, that multiple people are doing them that way now.
Yeah.
But they swear by them. And then like she had her family with her. I remember that. And they're like her kids like were raving about them and stuff. So they taste good, which is kind of what the whole point is.
It sounds to you, man, like you're going, it's a different, people are going for more like fall off the bone.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say ease. The ease of it.
Yeah. Yeah, with like that kiss of smoke, I guess, at the end.
Yeah, you get a little bit of that char flavor at the end from the like whatever grill or whatever you're using.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's kind of like what it sounds like to you, man. Is like people are going not so much for like the tug, right? Like oh yeah, I can't tell you how many people are like, oh yeah, the bones just pull right out. They pull right out. It's amazing. And stuff.
The home cooks are looking for the fall off the bone tender ribs. Again, this isn't competition style that we talk to people about. This is backyard. Doing it for the love of it, and then also for the flavor, man.
Oh, it's funny too, man, because like I've talked to my wife in the past. Like I told you, like when I've been gone and my kids want ribs, my wife will throw them in like the crock pot, and I'm like, God, don't do that. But I've talked to her in the past about doing it. Like, all right, well, what if like we can make like some rib sandwiches, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Where again, start them out on the grill and then run them into the crock pot for a bit, tenderize them, and those bones just pull right out, right?
Yeah,
so like,
so
this, I mean, this is like intrigues me quite a bit. To maybe
we're gonna have to do some more research, man.
Yeah.
Like I gotta like get my head around a little bit more because we've been just going for the past 4 days. Like when we get some time, like I'm gonna actually kind of sit down and maybe do some research because our buddy Meathead, has got a nice book out there about the science behind a lot of that. A lot of that stuff. So I gotta see if there's like an actual scientific reason that you would start them in the oven and maybe finish them off, other than just taste.
Well, yeah, I think like again that tenderness, right? But like you can get that from the grill too. Like again, you don't have to babysit them, right?
I think that's the big point is that, or maybe the overall theme we're seeing a lot, especially with the new cookers coming out. You can set it and forget it. The pellet style, and then the ease of doing it in a crock pot or in an oven because you don't have to babysit it,
right? And feed the coals or whatever, and that's like. Honestly, it was spot on right along that line of conversation with a guy yesterday where he said that exact same thing.
Yeah.
He had like a charcoal grill in the past, and he's like, dude, I just went to a pellet. Like this way, like with the kids and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't have to babysit the grill,
Yeah.
and I can just let it run.
Yeah,
So
I get it,
yeah.
man. I understand. And I talked to somebody yesterday that, and maybe I just overheard this, but like his buddy started off with a charcoal, and then he told him, no, don't get a charcoal, just get a pellet one because it's all messy and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's a trend there. There's a shift happening there, but at least to the people that we talked to here at the fair so far, we haven't really had anybody come up saying like they got a big old smoker or anything like that, like offset. So I understand, a lot of people are starting to get into it too. So we always talk to new barbecuers and grillers that are like, man, I just bought my first smoker, or like I just getting into it. What do you recommend for this and this and this? So having awesome conversations so far.
Yeah, dude. One guy too that I talked with, he said, and I told you about this right after I talked to him, but he said he marinates his ribs in salsa.
Oh yeah, that's right, man.
Beforehand.
That was interesting.
That was too. I've never heard of anything like that before. He said so. Like I was like, so he was saying it's like it's homemade salsa. His daughter's boyfriend is Hispanic, and his mom makes like her own homemade salsa. So I asked, I was like, so it's a little bit more loose, right? Kind of a little bit more liquidy. And he's like, yep. So I mean, yeah, it's an interesting take on ribs. I've never heard of someone like marinating ribs in like salsa.
No, man, but that just goes to show you how much creativity is out there.
That's awesome. It sounds delicious.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, well, we do have like a Southwest seasoning, so like I would
crush,
marinate the salsa and then pop some of that on there too, man.
Yeah.
Like almost like a Tex-Mex style, like ribs. Like
heck yeah.
That's so different, than kind of your traditional path. Like we did talk to a lady who put, I think it was the one lady who did it in the the oven, and she put a little bit like Dr. Pepper or something down in the the pan.
She mentioned she uses like a tin foil pan. She puts them in there, and then she uses whatever rib rub she's using, and then she puts some Dr. Pepper down in the bottom. So
no wonder. I mean, she said it was falling apart. She was worried. She was saying the last time she did them, she might have done them a little too long in the oven, because then she was having an issue with them falling apart and almost like falling through like the grates.
She didn't want them to fall through the grates
on the grill.
So she was hesitant to do that, which is smart because you don't want to lose those ribs to the fire.
No way.
But that's another thing. Like again, like I guess you're risking it too. Like when you're starting them off in the oven, or however else you're doing them, and then you're putting them out there on the grill. The grill grates is that if they are too tender, then you might lose some.
Yeah, you're struggling getting them out of the pan because they're just falling apart, man. Yeah. So that was interesting.
It's not a bad thing.
No, like I said, the guy who did marinated the ribs and the salsa, he was saying he'll what did he say? He's like, yeah, he'll put it, marinate them in salsa, and then he'll wrap them, and he'll put them on in the grill for like 4 hours, just like wrapped, and then he'll open it up for like another 2 hours, and just like with the foil, he just like opens it right up, all juices stay in there and stuff. He said the same thing, dude. He's like, those bones just pull right out. So that seems to be like the common theme that at least I'm noticing in here and stuff, man. Is like it's people want like those. It's like they're just pulling the bones like right out. It's like pulled pork, right? When you do that and you just pull that bone out, you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's a totally different style than like if you're doing a competition and stuff. So more power to you.
Yeah,
if that's how
awesome.
you like it, and the family loves it. Like, because a lot of these people we talk to like have kids and stuff, and they're like, my kids eat them. Like,
that's
my kids' friends eat them.
Like,
so it's been awesome to talk to people about that.
Yeah,
and like I think I'm gonna do like I gotta look into this a little bit more.
I mean, I'd give it a shot.
Yeah,
give it a shot, definitely. I mean, one of my best friends from back home and stuff, I know he'll smoke his ribs first and then he'll finish them in the oven.
Yeah, because the thought process is like the smoke, the meat doesn't take on much smoke after like maybe the first half hour to an hour, and then
he says he likes how they crisp up better in the oven.
I mean, if you put the broiler on, sure, you get that direct heat right over it. But yeah, there's so many different ways, man. And we keep learning about
crazy.
What people are doing. So we appreciate everybody that stopped over so far. It's been awesome to see and to talk to so many people that have bought our stuff or listen to the podcast or follow us on the social medias. We got 8 more days.
Is that what it is?
8 more days.
We're not on that back end yet, so I haven't started counting. You know what I mean? So.
All right. But we appreciate everybody stopping on out and seeing us again. This will play a little bit later on in the week. It's Sunday today, so
if you're hearing this and you got a few more days left of the fair, come out and see us at the expo building in the back corner by the trampolines where we like it. And we'll have some stuff. We can't guarantee we're going to have everything because we're selling out stuff pretty fast. It's been crazy. It's awesome. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the stack of boxes behind us, go all the way down by the next
dwindling.
time you see us. Yeah.
Keeps dwindling down, which is awesome.
So this will be a quick one. We'll do a little bit more deep dive into some of the other conversations we have maybe the next time we talk. Let's see what else. Competition's coming up at the end of the month. So August 31st, if you are in the area, we'd love to see you out there. Come on out. Bar opens at 11. Community tasting starts at about 2:30, so you can taste what the cooks are making. If you're interested in competing still, we still have, I think, 2 spots left. You can go out to burnpitbbq.com and just search for the Backyard Bash. But otherwise, if you just want to come out and check it out, we'd love to see you out there. It's going to be a big year for us, Ben.
Sure is.
And
year number 5.
Year number 5, and we're raising money for Fisher House, Wisconsin. So it's going to be a good time. A lot of drinks, a lot of raffle items, good food, good music.
Good people, man.
Yep. But let's wrap this one up, Ben, because we got to go restock.
Yeah, we got to get out there so we don't get in trouble.
Yeah, you got to have your vehicles off of the premises 9:30.
Yeah.
So we're up and at 'em real early this morning after a long night last night. But we got to get this one in, and we talk about the life of a small business owner. Here it is, man. Making it happen.
Crushing it at the fair.
Getting the podcast in, talking to people about barbecue. What could be better?
Yeah, and I do want to give a I did talk to somebody, man, who they were at the fair and they had apple pie with cheese curds on it.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that.
I want to bring that up.
Maybe
blew my mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
That one was one I don't know if I would do.
Oh, you would do it. You would do
man,
it.
You think
throw some ice cream on there too, man.
Yeah,
Delicious.
maybe you're right. Cheese good. Apple pie good.
Ice cream good. Yeah.
Ice cream
yeah.
good.
This one didn't have ice cream on it, but it does sound not too bad. But yeah, dude.
If you're looking to
apple pie with cheese curds on it,
man, there's some
blew my mind.
Crazy stuff out there, man.
Yeah.
Pickles are crushing it again.
Yeah, sure. Even the dill pickle cheese curds.
Cheese curds. Dragon's breath. We'll have to talk more about that.
Oh, jeez, man. Yeah, that stuff it's wild.
All the stuff you see at the fair, man.
It's crazy. It's been a crazy couple of days and stuff. So again, like Greg said, thank you so much for coming and stopping by and talking barbecue with us. Like I can't tell you, I can't tell you how much we appreciate it, because again, we love hearing how everybody else kind of cooks stuff, and we find it very interesting, and kind of that's we're drawn to that side of things. So it gives us kind of some stuff to try, which we always look forward to and enjoy. Yeah,
it's been awesome. So we appreciate it, and we hope that even though we can't get out and really grill that much this week, that you all are doing it for us. But we'll catch up here in another week or so, and we'll have a little bit more time to talk about all the stuff that we see in here at the Wisconsin State Fair. But all right, buddy, let's go get packed up.
All right, sounds good.
All right, cheers.
Take it easy.